Hey folks, thank you for joining me for today's Meet the Maker. To celebrate Women's History Month and International Women's Day, we do these Meet the Maker videos to highlight women and other folks who are in maker and STEM related careers. Today, I am joined by Theresa, a freelance videographer. Theresa, can you tell us more about what it is you do?
So I do a lot of different things. For the videography, cinematography side, um, I set up and compose a shot that helps convey a story or, some sort of feeling. Sometimes it can be as simple as this is a really great product, you should buy it. On the more technical side of things, I make sure the footage is as clear as it can be, essentially. The white balance, the exposure, is it too bright? Is it too dark? Is it too orange? Is it too blue? Is it in focus? Will it stay in focus as either I move the camera or, the subject is moving? Basically, I'm trying to make sure it's as clear as it can be so the editor can focus on the storytelling aspect. Lighting is the same. I'm using it to enhance the story, but I'm also making sure that there aren't any harsh lines, like intense shadows. Everything is lit enough that you can see it. For video editing, I've been doing that mostly since the pandemic started. I assemble all the different, the footage to create a story. Sometimes that involves using a script, basing it off of a script, or, just pulling what I think is the best shots, to show you how cool this toothbrush is. I'll add sound effects, music, animation, all that stuff to enhance the story. Video editing is also a lot about file formats, storage, backups, all that good stuff.
Cool. And so you mentioned a few things like product ads. So can you tell us more about some of the projects you've worked on, things that you've done as a videographer?
Yeah, so I've worked on a couple different sets. I've been really blessed to work with a lot of female documentary filmmakers. Most recently, I was a research / production assistant on a documentary called My So-Called Selfish Life, which is a documentary about being child-free. I've also worked for a lot of larger clients like Campbell's Soup, Colgate, Duolingo, Ford Motors, all those companies. I also work for a couple YouTube series, which is a lot of fun. One of them is a kid show, which is a lot of fun. You get to be really imaginative. And I also get to incorporate my love of memes. So that's fun.
Yes. Yeah, so you're really all over the board between products, documentaries, and even, social media, YouTube series. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you not only operate the camera, but you also do some of the video editing of the footage. Can
Mhm.
you tell us more though about what equipment you're using on site when it comes to doing the video recording?
Yeah, so it really depends on what I'm doing. My main camera is a Sony FS5. Um, like depending on what I'm doing, I'm going to bring different lenses, memory cards. Like you basically always want to be prepared for everything. Like I'll bring gaffer's tape, we'll do wireless mics, boom poles, it really depends on what I'm doing.
And for video editing, what kind of software do you typically use?
So for like the actual assembly, adding music, all that good stuff, sound effects, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. For any sort of like text or special effects, I'll use Adobe After Effects.
What led you to this career, and what kind of training and education did you do to get ready for this career?
So I've always been interested in films growing up. Back when you used to buy DVDs, I would watch a lot of the behind the scenes stuff on them. So I feel like I learned a lot from that. I did go to college for film. I have a bachelor's degree in digital cinematography. The college I went to was much more hands-on, rather than like film theory. We got to practice with cameras a lot. I feel like we, got to have some experience of what it's actually like, being on set or operating a camera rather than just talking about, film theory, essentially. I did some internships and I did a lot of base level, not so glamorous jobs in film. But that got me like exposure to what it's like on set, just getting to be around the equipment. That was a great way to learn. I think there's a debate between whether, it's better to have experience or it's better to go to college for film. And honestly, like, I learned valuable things in both that, didn't cross. Like I learned different things in each one. So really both were very useful. I think also when I was growing up, I made a lot of like ridiculous, silly videos, and it was like a low stakes environment. There's no client breathing down your neck. Like, I think that honestly was what like I learned the most from, was just making these like goofy videos.
Yeah. So you talked about some of the equipment you have and the fact that you went to college for some of this. For some of our viewers who might be interested in learning video work or going into a career, they might be on a budget. Do you have some suggestions on how someone can get started doing this or learning it as a hobby?
Yeah, definitely. So I think the most important thing is just, you know, experimenting with a camera. Any camera will work. I think you can research like shutter speed or something, but unless you're actually playing around with it on the camera, like you're not really gonna get it. YouTube has a ton of tutorials, for high-end software, how to do lighting, how to compose shots, what lenses you should use. A lot of libraries and schools provide access to these software, so you can try them without paying. Um, your smartphone is an amazing tool. People shoot real movies on iPhones. There's a movie called Tangerine, which was shot on the iPhone 5S that premiered at Sundance. So like you don't even have to have the newest phone. Like any phone will work, any camera will work. Um, you can also buy accessories like wireless mics or gimbals for your phone. For video editing, there's this really great software called CapCut, which I think is owned by TikTok. It's free. It's absolutely amazing. It will run on your phone. It'll run on the desktop. I find myself using it even though I have access to high-end software, because in a lot of, ways it's better. It's like it's easier to use. It just does things that like the higher end software doesn't do.
Mhm.
And most importantly, I would say like, especially for minorities in this industry, like you really just need to believe in yourself and push your way in. Like you deserve to be there as much as anybody else does. I think you don't need to wait till like it's perfect, till everything. Like we're all learning on set all the time. So I would say just make the film, make the TikTok, make the YouTube series, whatever. Like that's the most valuable thing you can do, is just do it.
Yeah. And for our viewers who might want to get started on this, but don't necessarily want to invest in software or equipment, I do want to remind everyone that we do have a sound studio here at the library. If you have an Addison Public Library card, you can reserve that in advance. And if you don't have an Addison Library card, you can still use it as a same-day walk-in reservation. And that has the Adobe suite that Theresa mentions that she uses. It also has iMovie if you want something that's a little bit more beginner friendly. And we do also have our Library of Things collection, which is for Addison Library card holders only, that has some very beginner equipment like ring lights and other lighting that you can use to shoot video at home. One of these reasons we do these Meet the Maker videos is to encourage underrepresented folks to pursue careers and hobbies where they might not see themselves, see someone like them doing that kind of hobby or career. What kind of encouragement do you have for our viewers who are interested in doing video work?
I think to like expand on what I said before, like everybody, like you deserve to be on set just as much as anybody else. You deserve, you know, to to do all these things that all these other people are doing. I think it's definitely hard, but like you just really have to push your way in. And I think a really valuable piece of advice is if somebody's like not making room for you, like go, like if they won't let you at the table, go make your own table, essentially.
Yeah, and I can see that in your case as a freelancer, that has opened opportunities for you because you've made your own space and your own table. And to really just feel that empowerment that you can do it as a freelancer.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Theresa, it was great to talk to you about your career as a videographer. For any of our viewers who are interested in exploring video work, please check out the software we have in our sound studio and the equipment in our library of things. In the description of this video, we will have links to information about our sound studio and library of things, but we will also have a link to Theresa's website if you want to see more about what she does and get in contact with her. Thank you for joining us today and have a nice day.